A sprawling and violent hailstorm tore across northern Texas and central Oklahoma late Monday evening, unleashing a barrage of ice, torrential rain, and lightning that left tens of thousands without power, damaged homes and vehicles, and triggered flash flooding across urban and rural communities. The storm, which developed rapidly and intensified within hours, is being described by meteorologists as one of the most widespread and destructive late-season hail events in recent memory. The system began forming around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday, September 22nd, as a potent cold front collided with warm, moisture-laden air streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico. The resulting instability triggered a line of supercell thunderstorms that stretched from Wichita Falls, Texas, to Norman, Oklahoma. Radar imagery revealed towering cumulonimbus clouds with intense updrafts capable of producing hailstones up to 2.5 inches in diameter, roughly the size of tennis balls. The National Weather Service issued over 40 severe thunderstorm warnings and multiple tornado watches as the storm evolved. This was a textbook hail outbreak, said Dr. Marissa Nguyen, a meteorologist at the University of Oklahoma. The vertical wind shear and moisture convergence created ideal conditions for large hail formation and sustained storm cells. In Denton, Texas, residents reported hailstones punching through skylights and shredding roof shingles. Vehicles parked outdoors were left with shattered windshields and cratered hoods. In Norman, Oklahoma, entire neighborhoods were blanketed in ice, with some streets resembling winter landscapes despite temperatures in the 70s. Insurance companies across both states received thousands of claims within hours. "It sounded like someone was throwing bricks at the house," said Angela Torres, a resident of Plano. "The roof is torn up, and our garden is destroyed." In rural areas, the storm devastated late-season crops. Cotton fields in Grayson County and wheat farms near Enid, Oklahoma, suffered extensive damage. Preliminary agricultural losses are estimated to exceed $50 million. By midnight, over 120,000 customers across Texas and Oklahoma were without electricity. Ice accumulation on power lines, combined with lightning strikes and falling tree limbs, caused widespread transformer failures and grid instability. In Oklahoma City, emergency crews worked through the night to clear debris and restore power. "We're dealing with downed lines, flooded substations, and blocked roads," said utility spokesperson James Holloway. "It's going to take days to fully recover." Water treatment facilities in Ardmore and Sherman reported temporary shutdowns due to electrical failures, prompting boil water advisories in several counties. Dallas, Fort Worth International Airport and Will Rogers World Airport in Oklahoma City experienced significant delays and cancellations. Ground crews struggled to clear hail from runways, and lightning forced temporary suspension of operations. Public transit systems in both states reported delays, with buses rerouted and train services suspended due to flooded tracks and damaged infrastructure. School districts across the storm zone canceled classes on Tuesday, citing unsafe travel conditions and facility damage. In Moore, Oklahoma, a middle school sustained roof damage and flooding, prompting emergency repairs. Community centers and churches opened their doors to provide shelter, food, and charging stations. Volunteers distributed blankets, tarps, and bottled water to affected families. "We've got neighbors helping neighbors," said Mayor David Holt of Oklahoma City. "It's a testament to our resilience and compassion." Social media was flooded with dramatic images and videos. One clip from Frisco, Texas, showed hailstones bouncing off pavement like popcorn, while another from Edmond, Oklahoma, captured lightning illuminating a sky filled with swirling ice.
Like it's snowing out here again.
Hail Trace released a detailed impact map showing over 500 cities affected, with the most intense damage concentrated in the Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex and central Oklahoma corridor. Experts warn that the storm may be part of a growing trend of late-season convective extremes. "We're seeing hail events push deeper into the calendar," said Dr. Alan Kim, a climate scientist at Texas A&M University. This storm fits a pattern of increasing volatility driven by warming Gulf waters and shifting jet streams. Both states are reviewing emergency protocols and considering updates to building codes, infrastructure resilience, and early warning systems. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas and Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma have declared states of emergency and requested federal disaster assistance. As skies clear and temperatures stabilize, communities across Texas and Oklahoma face a long road to recovery. The storm has left behind shattered glass, flooded homes, and economic scars, but also revealed the strength of community bonds and the urgency of climate adaptation. "We'll rebuild," said Torres, "but we need to be ready for storms that don't follow the rules anymore." Meanwhile, a sudden and severe hailstorm swept across large portions of Iowa this week, leaving a trail of destruction, power outages, and frozen infrastructure in its wake. The storm, which began late Sunday evening and intensified through Monday, battered communities with golf ball-sized hail, freezing rain, and wind gusts reaching up to 60 miles per hour. According to the National Weather Service, the storm system developed rapidly after 6 p.m. on Sunday, September 21st, fueled by a collision of warm, moist air from the south and a plunging cold front from the northwest. This volatile mix triggered a series of supercell thunderstorms that evolved into a full-blown ice storm across central and southeastern Iowa. The most intense impacts were recorded in O'Brien, Cherokee, and Clay counties, where hailstones measuring up to 1.75 inches in diameter shattered windows, dented vehicles, and tore through rooftops, freezing rain-coated power lines and tree limbs, leading to widespread outages and hazardous road conditions. By Monday night, utility companies reported over 45,000 customers without electricity across the state. Ice accumulation on power lines caused dozens of transformers to fail, while falling tree limbs blocked roads and damaged homes. Emergency crews worked through the night to restore power and clear debris, but progress was hampered by continued freezing conditions and slick surfaces. "We've never seen ice build up this fast in September," said local emergency coordinator Lisa Martinez. "It's like winter arrived 2 months early." The Iowa Department of Transportation issued travel advisories and deployed salt trucks, but the rapid onset of the storm overwhelmed early mitigation efforts. Public transit systems in Des Moines and Cedar Rapids suspended operations temporarily, while dozens of flights were delayed or canceled at Des Moines International Airport. The storm struck at a critical time for Iowa's agricultural sector. Corn and soybean crops, nearing harvest, suffered damage from hail and ice. Preliminary estimates suggest losses in the tens of millions of dollars, with some farmers reporting total field destruction. "This is devastating," said farmer Tom Renshaw of Cherokee County. "We were days away from harvesting, and now the stalks are shredded and frozen. It's not just a bad year, it's a disaster." Local businesses also faced setbacks, with storefronts damaged and supply chains disrupted. Insurance claims surged as residents and business owners assessed the damage. While Iowa is no stranger to severe weather, an ice storm of this magnitude in September is highly unusual. Meteorologists warn that shifting climate patterns may be contributing to more erratic and extreme weather events. "This storm is a wake-up call," said Dr. Alan Kim, a climate scientist at the University of Iowa. We're seeing seasonal boundaries blur. Preparedness plans must evolve to match the new reality. State officials are reviewing emergency protocols and considering updates to infrastructure resilience standards. Governor Reynolds has declared a state of emergency for the hardest-hit counties and requested federal assistance. A ferocious hailstorm tore through Minnesota on Sunday evening, battering the Twin Cities and surrounding counties with torrential rain, lightning, and hailstones as large as hen's eggs. The storm, which marked the dramatic end of summer, left thousands without power, damaged homes and vehicles, and raised urgent questions about climate volatility in the upper Midwest. The National Weather Service issued multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across the state beginning late Sunday afternoon. By 9 p.m., radar imagery showed intense reflectivity over Washington and Dakota counties, with hail cores indicating stones up to 2 inches in diameter. Meteorologists describe the storm as a classic late-season convective outbreak, triggered by a marginal risk zone identified earlier by NOAA's Storm Prediction Center.
The storm that just hit up here in Denton.
Warm, humid air clashed with a fast-moving cold front, spawning supercells that dumped hail and rain across the metro area.
Oh, wait.
This was one of the most intense hail events we've seen in September, said Mandy Thalhuber, a meteorologist with NPR News. The size and speed of the hail formation were extraordinary, especially for this time of year. The hailstorm impacted over 48,000 properties statewide, with more than 37,000 hit by hailstones measuring 1.75 inches or larger. In Minnetonka, footage captured hail bouncing violently off parked cars, cracking windshields and denting bodywork. Residents described the sound as like gunfire on the roof. In Edgerton and New Richland, reports confirmed hailstones up to 2 inches, accompanied by downed tree limbs and localized flooding. Several rotating wall clouds were spotted, raising brief tornado concerns, though none were confirmed. Power outages affected thousands across the metro, with Xcel Energy crews working overnight to restore electricity. Fallen branches and ice-laden lines complicated recovery efforts, especially in suburban areas like Hopkins and Deep Haven. Interstate 494 near Bloomington saw multiple fender benders, while Highway 61 in Cottage Grove was temporarily closed due to flooding and debris. At Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport, over 30 flights were delayed or canceled. Ground crews struggled to clear hail from runways and taxiways, and lightning forced temporary suspension of operations. Public transit systems reported delays and reroutes, with Metro transit buses navigating flooded streets and damaged shelters. The storm struck during a critical window for Minnesota's agricultural sector. Corn and soybean fields in southern counties were shredded by hail, with some farmers reporting total crop loss. This storm wiped out my entire field in under 10 minutes, said Tom Halvorsen, a farmer in Waseca County. The stalks are broken, the pods are bruised, and the soil is saturated. It's heartbreaking. Preliminary estimates suggest agricultural losses could exceed $25 million, with insurance claims surging statewide. Several school districts, including Rosemount, Apple Valley, Eagan, canceled Monday classes due to unsafe conditions and power outages. Hailtrace released a detailed impact map showing the storm's trajectory and damage footprint across 383 cities. Social media was flooded with images of hailstones, some the size of ping-pong balls, covering lawns and streets in Minnetonka, St. Paul, and Lakeville. One viral video showed hail bouncing off rooftops in Minnetonka like popcorn in a skillet, while another captured lightning illuminating the sky over Forest Lake. Experts warn that such extreme hail events in late September may signal shifting climate patterns. "We're seeing seasonal boundaries blur," said Dr. Alan Kim, a climate scientist at the University of Minnesota. "This storm fits a growing trend of late-season convective extremes." State officials are reviewing emergency protocols and considering updates to building codes and infrastructure resilience. Governor Tim Walz has declared a state of emergency for affected counties and requested federal disaster assistance. A powerful hailstorm swept across northern Utah on Tuesday afternoon, pelting cities with ice, torrential rain, and intense lightning. The fast-moving system caught many residents off guard, triggering flash floods, damaging vehicles and rooftops, and briefly disrupting power and transportation. The National Weather Service reported that the storm developed rapidly around 2:30 p.m., fueled by unstable atmospheric conditions and a surge of moist air from the southwest. As temperatures hovered near 80 degrees Fahrenheit, a cold front dropped in from Idaho, sparking convective cells that intensified over the Wasatch Front. Hailstones ranging from pea-sized to nearly 1.5 inches in diameter were recorded in Davis, Weber, and Salt Lake counties. Radar imagery showed high reflectivity and strong updrafts, classic indicators of hail-producing supercells. "This was a textbook microburst event," said meteorologist Rachel Kim. "The hail came down hard and fast with little warning." In Ogden and Layton, residents reported shattered car windows, dented siding, and flooded intersections. Emergency crews responded to dozens of calls about downed tree limbs and blocked storm drains. Power outages affected approximately 12,000 homes, mostly in northern Salt Lake County, where hail accumulation and lightning strikes damaged transformers and overloaded circuits.